today we're here with Rachel and Conlin Bonner. They are such a cool couple for a lot of reasons. Can I just say, first of all, you guys have such a beautiful coloring. Like, not that we notice that stuff, but I think it is so beautiful. And then your little daughter that was just here.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
she's perfection.
They are gorgeous.
Their gorgeous skin is just
Yes.
just beautiful. It's a beautiful blend of
Yes.
of
God took a
dark
paintbrush.
brown and
I love
peach.
it. It just makes me so happy with so much going on in the world, and that's such a topic right now, and so much hate. And it's like, you guys are just such an example of love. I love that. It's
Thank
so
you.
beautiful in a lot of ways, because we've already kind of been talking about stuff and the depths of their beliefs and everything. And you guys are an awesome couple. Like, you really are. I mean that. You guys, first of all, let's say what you guys do. Let's say that, because I've just met you guys, but Samarissa was telling me about, first of all, some of the things you've been through, but also you do a lot of acting and
Yes.
right? Tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about that.
So I love acting, love performing. I actually work at multiple theaters, helping them out with their casting, also diverse casting, try to create a more of an environment where everyone feels like they belong there, you know.
Sure.
So I have a business even in that. And then I also get to perform and
So
come
cool.
from a family that loves to perform. So
Yeah.
Samarissa is one that I actually performed with Young Ambassadors. So
Oh, that's
that
so
was
cool.
really fun. Yeah.
Anyone who's performed, I feel like, knows her. That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, and you guys have 6 children,
Yes.
and they're the same ages as mine.
I
That's
know,
so crazy
that
to
really
me.
is so fun.
That is so crazy. When does your 11-year-old turn 12? I'm curious.
December.
Okay, so mine's only just 6 months older. She just turned 12.
Oh, okay.
So crazy.
Yeah.
Most people think it's crazy when you see like 6
I
kids in
know.
that short of a time.
Yeah.
Yeah. 3 boys, 3 girls. They're in it, and so once we had our last boy, we're like, we did it. You know, it was
It was even.
yeah.
And that's exactly
Then we
what
can
mine is,
stop.
3 boys and 3
I
girls.
saw your pictures.
Yeah.
That's
And
so
wow,
fun.
wow, that is okay. We're gonna have to talk later about that. So I don't bore anyone with all my questions. Well, who came first? And
Yeah.
Okay, so sometimes I can't speak for other people, but I know for myself, it's easy to fall into the trap of looking at a couple that's beautiful and that has all these, healthy children, and, they get to do fun things like, perform and stuff. They fraudulently think life is just easy. And with what little I know with what you guys have been through, I know that you've been through some stuff. Probably, in my opinion, the hardest stuff that you can possibly go through. And I said this before too, before we were even rolling cameras or anything. I never want anyone's stories to be exploited. Like I always want people to share whatever they want to share, because I don't want a story as precious and as sacred as this to turn into clickbait and things like that. So I leave it open to whatever you guys want to share in order to help someone who might be going through something similar. So I'm just going to let you guys kind
Oh,
of
thank you.
dictate what you want to say.
Thank you.
Of course.
Christina, thank you for that, but we also want our experiences to bless or to help others who have experienced hard times. And I know you're talking about even our loss of our baby boy. And so what that experience was like and how we overcame that. I know there's been a lot of people who have experienced loss.
Well, but the fact that it was so recent and you're willing to do that just shows how Christ-like you guys are. Because I feel like for myself, it would take years to be able to talk about it, but you're like already thinking about other people.
Well, I think it's really just the grace of God.
Yeah.
We've been very blessed and very buoyed up by so many prayers, and we're just really blessed. We're really grateful for all the outpouring of love, that we've received. And I personally really feel that this is the purpose of our life here. We are supposed to help each other, right? Because we are all brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
And, with my missing my baby right now, I can't imagine not getting to have him back. That would just be the worst thing I can think
Can
of.
you have him back?
We can have him back, and so excited for that. But I just think about like our in heaven, right? God wants all of his children back with him. And so if there's anything that I can do to help another one of my siblings, hey, come on, we got to go. We want to get back there. Then yeah, I want to do it, because that's going to be a beautiful reunion, beautiful big family reunion.
How do you know this? So like for anyone listening who's like, I lost a loved one, and as far as I know, sorry, as far as I know, I'm never going to see them again. Like, how do you know that?
For me, there's multiple reasons why, how I know. Simple way, tangible way for me is when I go to the grave the first year. So he's been passed on for about, what is it, like 16, 16, 18 months, year and a half. Oh, actually, probably more than that. Oh my gosh. And it feels so soon, but I go to his grave. I went to this grave for the first year of his life. I went every week, and I feel him there. I feel him there. Do I know that he's still around, that he sees us? That I actually went to his grave earlier today with other family members. That those moments are so tangible, and you can feel them there. And so I've taken him everywhere with me. So that's a clear reason of how I know that there is something after this life, that I will connect with him again. I'm so grateful for that. But then it also connects with our faith in Jesus Christ, in the truth that everyone will live again and to be reunited, have an opportunity to be reunited. It's such a beautiful truth.
Yeah.
And it feels right.
Can I ask you something okay, so how do I word this? I remember seeing a video once of someone saying people tell themselves this in order to feel better, but they don't actually know this stuff. And I feel the same way you do.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I feel exactly the same way you do. And in fact, I feel like I've seen too much to ever deny that. You know what I mean? I know that that's true. I'll know I'll be with my loved ones again. But what would you say to someone who believes that?
Yeah, I've had an experience where I feel that. I have experienced that. And you can easily say, oh, that's just your feelings saying, it's like, obviously you haven't experienced this.
Yeah.
You don't know what this is like. So how can you say that? Because you don't know the experience that I have. Right. So someone who without an experience, they have nothing to stand on.
Totally.
And so I'm not going to be listening to that person who hasn't had an experience and telling me that I don't have an experience when I've just had an experience.
Yeah.
Then
I'm sorry if that's an offensive question. I just remember hearing that from someone.
No, it's a truth. It's that people, constantly tell themselves, and for me, it's something I hold on to. So.
Yeah, and I also think the lyrics to this song, "Always Be My Savior," are coming into my head of I'd rather take the chance and just believe with all I have.
Yes.
That you're still there. Like, really? Would I rather just go through life, totally depressed and whatever, or would I rather take this leap of faith and and believe
and
that?
try it out?
Yes. And
Totally.
what harm is that going to do you? It's only going to fill you with hope and with love, right?
Yeah, versus the other side.
Yes.
In fact, I was actually asked to be on a podcast recently where I said this exact same thing. Like, what did I miss out on if I was wrong? Partying?
Yeah.
I mean, like, really, what did I miss out on?
Yeah.
But what I do have for knowing that there really is a God who loves me and who's there, and I do get to see these loved ones again.
Yeah.
It's peace, it's happiness, it's direction, it's purpose. So many things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just as Rachel was saying, we really were living on prayers, because a moment like that, losing a baby, and this is, and I guess we can even share, but it was just randomly in the night, and we don't.
How did
they call it
pass away?
SIDS, and it's just, and we can come up with different ideas of why it happened. Maybe it's this, maybe it was that, but we really don't know what happened when we wake up and he's not there. And so it was a tough morning. It was a Sunday morning, and we slept in longer than normal, and realizing, okay, well, let's check on the baby, because this is way too long, because normally he wakes us up. And
you would have been awake because of
exactly.
it.
And it's like, what's happening? So we go over there, and without getting into too much detail, because it was vivid, it was kind of scary. It was those are just moments you don't want to relive. But he wasn't breathing. Bring him in. We give CPR. We call 911. We are constantly doing that all the way until police come and ambulance come. We were saying prayers in our heart, blessings, trying to take place there. And then we're excused out of the room while they continue. And we go into the rooms of our children and just sit with them. And we go to the Lord. What else do you do? at that a moment like that, you run to the Lord and ask for his help in this situation, that whatever happens, help us in this situation. And we say a prayer together, and we later find out that he passed away, that he's gone, that he was not there. So it was rough, but we knew what to do as much as we could do, and that was, how much of the Lord can we get? It's Sunday, let's go to church.
You went to church.
We went to church that day.
Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing.
That was the hardest thing.
The blessing was that, our church time switches, right? On New Year's, the first of the month.
Oh, so this was
This was the very first Sunday of the year, and our church had been at 9 a.m. the year before, and now it was at 1. So because of that, we were able to have gotten through all the police and the detectives and the social workers and blah, blah, blah. And that's a whole nother trauma and nightmare of a situation. But we got rid of all that, and then realized that, hey, we have time that we can go to church. And we thought
you might be the most faithful.
No, we just felt like, I felt like, how could I say, yes, Heavenly Father, I believe in forever families. I believe that I'll get to be with my son again. But you know what? Not today. I'm not going to choose you today on your day. Like, yes, I'm going to church because I want these promises. I believe in them, and I'm going to show you that I believe it by my actions. And yeah, like, why would you go away from the Lord when you need him most? You need that. So it was a blessing that we were able to do that.
I don't know how we were able to move. Literally living on prayers.
I don't know either.
It's a paralyzing experience. It's paralyzing. You don't want to do anything. And days ahead even kind of was a testament of that. It's like, oh my goodness, I don't want to do anything. I just want to just sit here and just not do anything, and can't wait to go to the other side. But somehow through many prayers and support and help and running to our Father in heaven in Jesus Christ, we have been empowered to, okay, you know what? Our boy is at peace right now. He's probably smiling and trying to motivate us. He doesn't want us to sit there and not do anything. Let us make sure that we're living in a way that gets us to where he is. Mm-hmm. And so that's been our motivation, our strength to be able to keep on moving forward.
So if you don't mind me asking, like, by the time you got to church, I'm sure people have seen that there's...
Yeah, so that was kind of awkward, right? Because everybody saw all the ambulance and everything, in the morning, and the word had gotten out. And
so people knew what had happened.
People, yeah, I'm sure everybody had.
Were they
had
shocked
gone.
you were at church?
Yeah, and I was thinking maybe we should go to a different ward, I don't know. I mean, obviously they're concerned, right? And they want to show love, but I just felt like maybe we should go where nobody knows us, But we did go to our ward, and yeah, just people giving love and everything.
Yeah, so much love.
Did it end up helping you to go that day?
I feel like the help was the strength, knowing that we did what the Lord wants us to do. Feeling like, okay, we're on the right track of trying to do what's right.
Yeah, we're not going to let circumstances or Satan derail us, like, nope, not today. We're trying to stay close to that faithful. So that we want to be
if
with
anyone
our
had an
again.
excuse to not be at church.
Right, which
I'm
is
just so
totally,
impressed.
it's totally understandable, right? And it's not like, even if we hadn't gone to church, we still would have our testimonies. I don't think that would have made it so that, oh, now everything's lost,
Right.
And that's totally understandable if somebody needs to, if they feel like they need that,
Sure.
But yeah, we felt like we needed to be there.
So how, like, I know you mentioned those days after that were just so hard where you didn't want to do anything. How did you finally get past being able to actually get up and live life? And how does anyone do that?
For me, life is a continual roller coaster, right? It's almost been 2 years, and yet there's still days where it's like just a bulldozer just hits me, and knocks me down, and not in a way where, like, I don't know, it's never been like I'm angry at God or I am. Yeah, it hasn't been that, but just the missing, And yes, I know I'm going to see him again, but I wanted him here right now. that was my plan for all my babies to grow up together. And I was very intentional in how I had my children, and now it's just not how I wanted it. And it's beautiful that I'll get to be with him again, and I believe I'll get to raise him again, but yet not right now, not with my other kids. So, but I feel like it's been a little bit quicker to the comeback. I'll go down, but okay, I can come back up. And Conlin's been an amazing support. He's there for me, but there are still times where I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna be in bed for a little bit longer right now, or
And that is okay.
and yeah, but I think,
totally.
I mean, writing my journal has really helped too. Just I can process my feelings also in that way, and then almost be like a third party observer, talking myself out of it or helping motivate myself and have a more spiritual focus on things, eternal perspective, right? But I don't know what's helped you, babe.
Yeah. No, well, we experience it differently. We experience loss, and you don't know how it's going to you don't know what you're going to do. You don't know what comes out of you when moments like that happens. And I'm just so glad that we were understanding that, yes, we need the Lord as much as we can, and we need to give each other grace because we handled it differently.
Totally.
I wanted to hold on to everything. She's like, okay, I can't see a thing, that was that of his right now.
Right.
And so her place can be the temple, and my place was the grave, to feel him or to be around him. Just different things and different ways to handle it. Maybe if it's like what is my I'm feeling like I need to be so busy. I'm like, oh no, I got to slow down. Like there's so many things that comes out of us. But one thing that has been such a great source is talking about him.
Really?
I it's been such an antidote to the hurt, to everything. I just feel like being able to talk about him and his life, that it's, he was just a baby, and I don't know how much influence he has on the world, but I want everyone to know about him, and in turn, I think it really allows people to let down guards a little bit and to empathize with people. It helps me empathize more with others as well. So this experience is helping me become better. And even though I would rather have him,
Yeah.
I would rather have my boy, absolutely. But I'm grateful that I'm able to find something to learn, find something to grow from this experience, and
What good
help
people
others
you guys
to
are,
do that.
seriously. Like that you're choosing to turn this into a good thing. I mean, that's a choice. That really is. That you're choosing to see the good in it, choosing to be grateful, and even though it's not at all what you want,
Yeah.
Wow, I just what advice do you have for someone who maybe doesn't have the faith that you guys have and is going through that and just feels hopeless?
There are times when you want a miracle to take place. You want a miracle to take place, but it doesn't come. For me, I still know that there is a reason for all these things. In my faith, I say, even when God doesn't send a miracle, he's still good. He's still so wonderful. He is still able to he sees the entire perspective, and so trust him. Ultimately, there's this great quote that's from President Russell M. Nelson, and he says,
His birthday it is today.
yes, his birthday's today.
100th birthday.
I know.
And he said that the only death that is premature is one that is not prepared to meet God. Wow. And my baby boy, he's celestial bound. He's heavenly bound because he was such a beautiful baby, so good. We've always said that, and so there's such goodness in him, and I'm so glad that he is in such a good place. So now I just got to get myself there. I got to help get my kids there as well, and so I want to make that as a motivation to be there with them, and I know he's going to be with me, help me along. So I'm hoping that others can find that type of inner strength that, yes, they're seeing you, they're helping you along. They wouldn't want you to see, they don't want you to just give up. They want you to keep on going.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful. So Marissa actually had mentioned that, and I hadn't heard this quote before, that Jeffrey R. Holland had said that when people pass on, their number one job, because sometimes we think they're off doing, other things in heaven, is their families here on earth.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe
Do you
that.
feel that with
Absolutely.
your son?
Yeah. And which is, it's so beautiful to think, right, that he is now even more part of our lives than he was just here as our little baby, that we loved. And just so grateful for him and for him looking out for us and helping his siblings. And, it's just beautiful. Yeah. But I honestly don't know how people get through hard things, especially loss, really anything without faith. I can't imagine us being able to get through this without that.
Well, I believe it's the angels that are on the other side, the ones that have passed on, them being their number one job. I'm going to help you through this, whether you believe or not, you have heavenly help. Yeah. And I feel like that my son Joshua, he has rallied up a whole bunch of family members to help our family, to heal our hearts in such a terrible, terrible time. And so it's motivated us to try to live our very best life, to make sure that our kids are firm and sound in handling hard times and examples of good wherever they
Great
go.
parents you are.
We're
seriously.
trying.
I even met your little daughter. She's adorable.
She's a cutie. Oh, I just thought of this, something that I had heard of after Joshua passed, and just missing him so much, right? And she's like, I just want him here. And thinking about anybody that loses somebody, you have that hole in your heart, of missing them. And yet, if you think about, they're not gone, right? They've just moved on to the other side. And on the other side, there's so many people that are celebrating that they are there. And there was this analogy that some author that wrote this, and I'm butchering it, but it's about when you see a ship going away, right? And everybody's waving, and you see this ship, and once it passes over, you don't get a seat anymore, but then there's other people on the other side, on the other shore, that are just cheering and so excited to welcome that ship. And I just love that idea, thinking of our Joshua being there, and so many other ancestors and loved ones just so happy that he's back.
I love that. Do you guys mind ending with telling me one miracle you've seen from this?
Yeah. I think the most beautiful miracle is the strength that we have to keep moving forward. How did that happen? Honestly, it's a paralyzing experience. And yet I feel driven to work harder, to work even that much harder, to make him proud, to be with him again in the most happiest way. I can't wait for that reunion. The feeling that I have right now is a miracle, and I believe it's because of the prayers that have been going on. Is because
Absolutely.
of my hope and trust in Christ that makes this possible, and I just cannot wait for that. So that's a miracle to me.
That really is a miracle. Yeah. That really is, because even things that aren't even, I don't want to compare trials, but that seemingly aren't as difficult as that can sometimes be harder to get through.
Yeah.
But that feeling really is a miracle.
Yeah.
You guys, thank you so much for sharing this. Is there anything else you guys want to end with before?
Sometimes you might think that there's no miracle because it didn't happen how you wanted it to happen, right? People can pray and pray and pray, and yet it doesn't happen. But it doesn't mean that there's not a miracle. And I feel like if we'll open our eyes, we can see so many miracles that God is giving us. So just open your eyes a little wider, because you'll see them.
Whoa, this may have been more for me than anyone else, but thank you guys so much for being willing to share that. I know that's that was hard for me even here. I can't even imagine how hard that would be to talk about, but thank you so much. And I know there's people out there who are going to hear that who really need this message. So thanks again.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.